Hello, good morning from sunny Trinidad. So this is our first breakfast now here in this beautiful city. Yesterday, just an update after our viewpoint of the city, we started going down and looking for places to eat. As you know, we don't have Wi-Fi, it's not easy to find, and we were trying very hard, but we weren't able to find. And we got a bit desperate. We were looking around where to eat, and we started following some tourists, and we could see that they were going somewhere. And at some point we stumbled upon our friends from Vinales, our Spanish friends, and that was the best part of the day in a way, because they just had other friends as well together. We went out for dinner in a nice place, had some nice pizzas, cocktails and drinks, and afterwards we ended up in a bar on the terrace with live music. It was basically a private show to ourselves. There was not many people there for at least 2 hours, and it was great fun. And we were there until 12:30, talking and drinking. Then we had to leave, the place was closing, and whilst we were walking towards home, there was just a general blackout, which apparently is quite common here, about 2 hours a day. And it was very funny to walk in the streets in the dark. And then we arrived in our place, had something to sleep, some hours to sleep, and now we're thinking what to do today. Our plan is to go for a free walking tour in the morning and then go to the beach, Playa Ancon, in the afternoon. But we're not sure how that will work out because we don't have internet. So this is kind of the first mission of the day, try to find some internet and get organized. And also we are trying to arrange something with our friends from yesterday and see if we can do something together today. So let's see how the day will go. So we are here now in the Cuba Tour office tours, and we're gonna find out what can we do for the day. If there's any tour we can join, or if we can only go to the beach. And that's our only option. Let's see, we'll find out. Okay, so we can wait here. We managed to find something for today. The tour, private tour for 3 hours. The lady here in the office was very nice, and we will discover a bit more about Trinidad. Something interesting about that it makes this the UNESCO heritage site, one of many in Cuba, is the fact that many houses here are back from the 1700s. They're very colorful. They remind you a bit of these colonial type houses that you find in other South American countries, like Peru. And they're quite beautiful. They have these kind of rooftops that are very typical of this type of architecture. And here in the Cuba Tour office you can even see a bit the colors, this kind of green color here. It's something similar to that, and you also saw maybe already in our other videos that we've shown you a bit of the houses in the street where we're walking through yesterday mostly, and we will see them even more today. So we're hoping to find a bit more about the history behind these houses and who owns them nowadays as well. So that will be interesting.
All kinds of things. And we have pottery. that came from the African legacy. Pottery because the clay.
A typical house in Trinidad has 4 windows and a large wooden door containing smaller doors for easy access. It also has an inner garden area as a way to cool down the house through air circulation. When Trinidad's economy collapsed in the 1860s, most colonial families left their belongings behind and their houses were occupied by the locals who didn't have enough money to invest in these. Ironically, the new owner's poverty kept the house's architecture intact all those years, one that we've come to appreciate and admire today. Trinidad's only library, dating back to 1963, was part of the government's cultural policy to promote the habit of reading, and it was a pioneer in community work by setting up a mobile library that brought books to 28 rural areas. Trinidad has a school dedicated to teaching how to restore the colonial houses, focusing in masonry, carpentry, blacksmithing, ceramics, paper restoration, and modi sewing. The predominance of single-family houses in Trinidad has avoided overcrowding in the city center, which is common in other historic centers. This has contributed greatly to the retention of the original interiors. The use of centuries-old techniques and building materials has persisted, including traditional lime mortar, wood, terracotta, clay roofing tiles, and cobbled streets.
So we're here now in the middle of the tour. We just came to the only 5-star hotel in Cuba and in the world that doesn't have a swimming pool, and that's because of the resources. As you can see, the interior is very beautiful, and it has preserved pieces from the 19th century. So it's very beautiful. Yeah.
Wow. Whoop. Sorry. Look at that. This is my family house.
Yeah.
We have always lived here. Entonces, hola. So, my mother died 8 years ago, and we had to go through a lot of paperwork. And in these papers, we found that this property was bought by my mother's great-grandparents in 1790.
1790.
So we have been here for
Many generations.
8 or 9
Wow.
generations. This lychee tree was planted in 1895 by my great-grandfather.
Wow.
They remember the date because it was the time of the independence war.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I also wanted to show you this place because my house is one of the 2 houses in the historical center which is not in the front of the street. So we can afford to have a flat, more modern roof. We don't have to respect this. If we had been here, we couldn't have been able to do this.
I see what you mean. If you didn't have this garden area.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Wow. Interesting.
That was just by chance, though.
Yeah. Just wait a minute. They bought the land, the people in my family. Yeah. They bought the land, but they were not very rich to build one of these houses. So they just made houses that we have been improving with the years.
In the end, works best for you.
Yeah, and we don't have neighbors to the side, which is very good. We have
Yeah.
a yard here. See, everybody has dinner in the yard. We hardly ever use the set. This is my brother.
Hola.
The criminal you already know.
Hola.
Hey. Hola.
Hola.
Friend. Yara, ven acá.
barbecue time.
And our small vintage.
This is so nice.
Pigs. We have pigs back there. Pigs.
Ah, really? Where are you, little ones? Oh, hello.
Two.
Quiet. Hola.
So we're now on the top of the historic museum here in Trinidad, which used to be a family's palace or house. A couple with 14 kids, we've learned. That was turned into a museum, and then you can see we have over there the Plaza Mayor, which is a central square in the historic center. And yeah, you can also see the typical old colonial Trinidadian rooftops. And if you turn a bit around, you will see the beautiful mountains that surround Trinidad. And if you come over here with me, you'll be able to see at the bottom there a bit of the sea. It's over there. It's very sunny now.
This is the biggest house in the center of Trinidad.
So we're now finished our tour for the day, and afterwards we decided to look for a place because, as we told you, we need to find some Wi-Fi. And we're also very thirsty and very hot, so we found this nice terrace here in this small bar in the center. We're eating some tostones and croquetas, which is basically like fishy in a way. There's fish inside and it's fried. And then we have two piña coladas, so we can refresh ourselves. We're connected to the Wi-Fi, which is great, and now we can arrange a few things. We are going hopefully to Playa Ancon now in the afternoon after this. And we really enjoyed our tour in general, very informative. The guide was very good. Her English was perfect, and she had a lot of inside information that you would never know if you hadn't done a tour like that.
está el mar en calma. Hasta ahora me gusta. Siempre voy después de las 4.
Después de las 4.
Hola.
Hola. El taxista de la casa.
Adelkis.
Jara.
Jara, nice to meet you.
Mucho gusto. Nice to meet you. Yeah.
Buenas manos.
Sí, ok. ¿Van a una adelante, una atrás o los dos se quedan? Ok. Bueno, muchachos. Oye, vivo, ya que tal, oye, te quieren en la casa, nunca te había visto así.
Saying it's the best time to go now. After 4. The best time to go to the beach is now, after in the afternoon, because she says the sea is more quiet, there's less people, and the sun is not so strong.
What do you have to say about that upgrade today?
Great upgrade.
Very good.
Ponemos una musiquita, ¿les gusta?
Ah, sí, perfecto.
Una musiquita ahí.
Beach. It's like, ah. The water was very warm, and we spent some time diving in, enjoying our first swim in a Cuban beach. We sunbathed and drank a fresh juice before going for a short walk in the beach and enjoy our dinner. Hello, we have enjoyed a nice meal here in Playa Ancon, and now we're gonna watch the sunset. It's supposed to be very nice.
Our dinner.
Y algo como galletas.